Morning, this is Rick Ackerman, editor and publisher of Rick's Picks. Wanted to talk this morning about the shares of Lyft and Uber. There's a story out that investors and other pitchfork rabble are looking to put the blame on someone for the fact that the current price of both stocks is well below the initial trade on IPO day. Lyft began trading at let's see, the date was the 29th of March and traded as high as 88 and change. We've been down as low as around 48. So the stock has lost a little bit of juice, to put it mildly. And I've got a target that's lower than this. I put out some targets earlier around the time of the IPO and have been looking for low 40s on Lyft. You can see that target here on the chart, and based on the sinkage in Lyft, it was fairly easy to predict a target on Uber. By the time Uber opened, well, we don't have too much price data here, but I was using a projection of 21.5% slippage from the opening day price, which was a little bit close to 45 in Uber. So I'm looking for a little more sinkage here down to 34. But over the long term, I think both stocks will trade much lower. That's not to say that the sleazeballs who work these stocks for a living are not going to be able to fabricate some pretty phenomenal rallies based on some prettified, spruced up quarterly earnings reports. So there's always going to be that. But I think that the long-term trend for both of these stocks is going to be down, down, down. There are a few reasons for that. One is that I get my rides in South Florida to the Fort Lauderdale airport with someone who I guess you could describe as a competitor of the big ride-hailing companies. He's got one of his own and has a software that could allow him to expand his operation on exactly the same basis, namely an application in the cloud that has built Uber and Lyft. So they're going to be 10,000 competitors just like him. The investors who dove into the IPOs in these stocks were only thinking that they basically compete against each other. But at the lower level, there's effectively no entry barrier to people who want to compete with Uber and Lyft, and I think that's going to be a problem. Believe it or not, there's an even bigger problem that arises from the uncertainty of whether the drivers for these companies will ultimately be classified as employees. Right now, they are subcontractors, but that argument legally is hanging by a very slender thread, and it's bucking what you might say is a soft coalition in all of the cities around the world where Uber and Lyft operate, a coalition between local government or even government at a higher level and the unions, who of course are represented in this case by taxi cab drivers, fleets of cabs. So Uber and Lyft, wherever they go, are going to face some very heavy political sledding. And that's just one more thing. It was obviously in the prospectus of both of these companies before they went public, but as always, we have a lot of evidence that investors simply ignored the caveats and jumped on the stock. They are at this point deeply regretting it, but again, they'll have their chance not to get out for the kind of prices that obtained on IPO day, but they'll be able to get out, I think, above where we are here before these stocks slump into oblivion. And by oblivion, I mean perhaps single digits. That's what I think the stocks are worth, maybe, because there's really nothing in the plan that's going to make money for either company. Uber has grandiose plans to become a global force in the transport sector. But if you look to see how much they're struggling just to get scooters going in some cities where they operate, you'll see just how grandiose their thinking is. And I have my doubts about the driverless car, which would be the obvious place for an Uber to go to generate real profits, which it may never be able to get in the ride-hailing business. So that is about it for today. And if you're interested in the hidden pivot method that I use to project prices in these stocks, I would suggest that you go to rickackerman.com. Let me show you the homepage. Again, rickackerman.com. At the top of the page there, just leave your name and email address, and you will be instantly subscribed for a free 2-week trial, no risk. And you'll be able to go right into the chat room. Just click up here on the tabs. And when you drop in, just be sure to say hello. It's a great group, traders from all over the world. And the good thing is that they are willing to share their real time, their trading ideas in real time. So it's a very helpful bunch. And be sure to say hello when you get there. And that's about it for today. I'll be doing another one of these broadcasts later in the week. If you want to be notified, just click the like button on the Rick's Picks page and you'll get a notification when these sessions are about to begin. So thanks again. You all have a very pleasant good day.